Hello and welcome to the second edition of my Ark taming video. In this video, I'll be taming a Triceratops. Now, you have a few options for knocking the animal out, which is the first thing you must do. Your first option is your fists, not your best option. Your second option is the club. Then you have the slingshot with stones. After that, you get into the tranquilizer arrows, which are fired by bow or crossbow, and the crossbow is the only weapon at this time that will fire underwater. You also have the tranquilizer darts for the long neck rifle. Once the animal is down, you need to put taming food in immediately. And if the dino runs out of taming food during the process, the taming progress will reset to 0. And of course, if the animal wakes up during the process, the progress obviously resets to 0. Please note that a knocked out dino is extremely easy to kill. I have no idea what just walked on me, but okay, a stego. They're extremely easy to kill when they're knocked out, so you'll want to protect them. And keep in mind that there is a zone around you, like a bubble, that things will not spawn in. So if you wander too far from your taming dino, you could very well push it just outside the edge of your spawn zone, your anti-spawn zone, and that could cause hostile dinos to spawn right on top of the dino you're taming. Also keep in mind that for most dinos, the distinction between herbivore and carnivore is now non-existent if you want to do fast taming, because most dinos have an egg kibble that they prefer, which is primarily a carnivore dish. So if you have the egg kibble, that lasts extremely long and it has a 5x taming bonus. Otherwise, for most dinos, you'll be forced to either feed them berries or raw meat. In the case of the scorpion, it is spoiled meat, and when you're not using the kibble, it tends to be very, very slow. So you have to look up your dino, because there is an egg kibble that can be made from every different egg a dino lays, and they're all different. And most egg kibbles are only preferred by 1 or 2 dinos, so you really have to make sure that you have the right food, the right kibble. And the old idea that narco berries are better for herbivores and the meat-based narcotic is better for carnivores, throw that out the window. Go for the narcotics. They're meat-based, but it doesn't matter, they work better. And they do not harm taming effectiveness. And the egg kibble is made in the cooking pot, and you need an egg, a type of vegetable, mejoberries, fiber, and water. The vegetable and the egg depend on the recipe, and the recipe you're going to want will depend on the dino that you're going to tame. I do have a link in the description to a list of the different recipes and which dinos prefer which recipe. Now remember that when you're trying to put the dino down for taming, you don't want to hit it any more times than absolutely necessary, or your taming effectiveness will drop like a stone. One extra hit while it's going down can drop you to below 50%, and I've seen it drop below 40% from an extra hit while the dino was actually passing out. Now, if your taming effectiveness gets way too low, throw in a bunch of stem berries, wake it up, then, well, actually first force feed it so it heals rapidly, then force feed it stem berries to wake it up, then knock it out and start over, and your taming effectiveness will be completely reset. Now, to keep these dinos down, what you do is you access their inventory, like so. Then you click on your narcotic or narco berries and click Remote Use. and that will force feed them the tranquilizer that will keep them unconscious. And as you can see, they lift their head for a quick second while they're chomping something down. You don't want to do this too close to the water for land dinos, or they could drown if they land in the water. Also note that this does work in general for most dinos, but some are a passive tame, like the Ichthyosaurus or dolphin, and there are a couple land-based dinos that you need to hand feed while they're conscious. But most dinos are a simple matter of knock them cold and feed them till they love you. There was supposed to be an update coming that would allow you to passively tame any herbivore. I do not know if that update is still going to come. There was a lot of unhappiness from people over the fact that they were being given ways to tame an animal other than beating it into unconsciousness with a stick. So the whole passive tame for herbivores may be out the window, or at least it's on the back burner. And as you can see, this dino is taming quite nicely. Without the egg kibble, it would have taken me dramatically longer. It would have literally moved about a fingernail sliver each time it ate. So you can literally accelerate your taming process by 5-fold just by feeding it the right kibble. For the rare dinos that don't like kibble, their preferred food does give a pretty good bonus. You'll have to take a look in the description of the video for a list of the different kibble recipes and the information on what different dinos do and don't like to eat. Also, the taming speed and which dinos can be tamed and which dinos can't be tamed can be controlled by simple configuration changes. That's done with a quick text edit of a few configuration files for Ark. Bang, you're done. That works for single player and private servers. And there's also a link to that information in the description as well. The weather's getting pretty bad, but this is going quite well. Now, as far as saddles go, each dino has a saddle. Basically, if you can ride it, it has its own individual saddle. Except for the direwolf, at this time does not require a saddle. And there are skins for saddles. For example, there is the Ark Founder skin for the Parasaur saddle, and there is a Dino Glasses skin that will go on any saddle. I'll just show you how that works now. Pop the inventory. Okay, there's my Dino Glasses skin. And as soon as I pick it up, you'll notice the Trike saddle has highlighted green. If I just drag and drop these glasses onto that saddle, the skin will be applied. Please note that is permanent. If you put a skin on a saddle, it replaces the saddle with a different item. So you cannot simply put the skin on and take the skin off. The same is true if you have the hunter hat skin for your helmets. Once you put it on an object, you cannot remove it. So I am going to wait until after this trike is tamed to do that. Then I can show you what it looks like with and without. And a few more narcotics for a bonus. There is a supply drop nearby, and I know those music changes tend to mean a change in the supply drops. Of course, with the garbage weather, it's hard to tell. Oh, if you have a problem with the disappearing HUD, it's backspace. So if you press backspace once, it disappears, and if you press it again, it comes back. So if ever your HUD wanders off on you, just try hitting backspace and see if it comes back. I know a lot of you probably already know that, but I often see questions like that on the various forums, so I thought I'd mention that since I just toggled it to get a better view of its head. And in fact, I want to take a good look at it without... Yeah, there we go. They don't really lay flat on the terrain, and sometimes they can land partially through a rock. Usually that doesn't matter, and as soon as they wake up as your pet, they'll pop out of the rock, or you can just leave them set to follow and wander off a bit and they'll come out of the rock. Don't wander too far while you're taming, because if a hostile dino comes, these unconscious dinos die very quickly and easily. And also note that there is a no spawn radius around you, so nothing can spawn too close to you. But if you move just far enough away, your dino can slip just outside of the edge of that radius, and that is where dinos will start to spawn. So the odds of a dino actually spawning pretty much right on top of it, looking down and saying, "Oh, free lunch," go up dramatically if you wander too far. And luckily the egg kibble makes it pretty much easy to tame them quickly. You can also build taming pens. Either put the pen down and then lead the animal into it, or once the animal is tranquilized, very quickly use fence foundations and walls to put up a taming pen around the unconscious animal to protect it. Spiked walls are another option that people often use for this. Do make sure you bring food and water for yourself, because you don't want to have to wander off or partially starve while you're taming the animal. And if you have the ability to make the saddle and you intend to, you're better off to make it before you actually tame the animal. And that way, as soon as it's tamed, you can just drop the saddle on and go. Tame dinos bigger than the Dillo, Dodo, and the Parasaur, like dinos that have a big hit area like the Triceratops, Stego, Ankylo, and the Bronto, for example, are extremely good for harvesting berries. And you'll get a lot of seed drops, and that is also true if you're in the swamps and you're looking for, or on the mountaintops and you're looking for wildflowers. Take a dino that's good at harvesting berries and you'll get a lot more of those rare drops a lot more quickly. The same is true if you go into the swamps with a mammoth, which is excellent for harvesting wood. You'll get a lot more rare mushrooms off those trees than you will if you chop them with an axe. There is also the Doedicurus for harvesting stone. The Ankylosaurus is good for metal, flint, oil in the snow biome, crystal on the mountains, and for obsidian. It also harvests a bucket of berries. And there we go. The first time you tame a dino, you will get a dossier pop-up, so please be careful about that, because the dossier pop-up and the naming pop-up can come at very bad times, especially if you're taming underwater. And I'll just throw the saddle on, drag and drop it straight into the saddle slot like so. Then you can push E to hop on. And you can just hop back off with E. Now I said I was going to show you how that skin works, and it is a one-way conversion, so let's try that now. You can walk right up to your dino and you don't have to bring the wheel up if you want to access its inventory. Just press F when you're close enough and it'll automatically open it. And there's the dino glasses. Pop those. Oh, I gotta take the saddle off and put it in my inventory to do that. Boom, there we go. And now you can see it's Dino Glasses armor. Toss that on. And there we go. A bright trike. Either that or a blind trike, but maybe both. And I'll just give you a quick demonstration of the berry harvesting power of this dino as soon as I find myself some bushes. They also harvest thatch pretty good. Okay, that was just a single bush. I know there's a little patch that's all bushes nearby. Now the trikes don't run fast and they don't run long and they get very tired. So I'm going to let this one kind of rest up a bit before I try to... There we go, there's a ton of bushes. And they do have a pretty good knockback, so these Triceratops make a very good early and mid-game bodyguard. And as you can see, I'm just pulling in mountains of berries now. Sorry, I've got a bit of a catch in my throat. And as you can see, I'm also pulling in seeds as well. You get seeds more quickly with a dino than you do by hand. And the bigger the dino, the better. Like the mammoth and the bronto will pull in mountains of seeds and berries. It's kind of actually amazing how much you'll end up throwing out because you just have such an insane surplus. You do want to be careful though, because it can be pretty easy. Like I just hit that pterodon, but it's running off. So you want to be careful because it's extremely easy to hit other dinos nearby. And you can start a fight that you might not want really easily. And as you can tell, I'm just pulling in tons of berries. And I'm not really doing a good job at harvesting. I'm just kind of randomly clicking as I wander along. My dino's getting tired and close to passing out now because I overworked it. When you're on a dino, press F and it'll open up its inventory. As you can see, I've got didn't get that many seeds that time, but I got a good ton of berries. 4 stimberry seeds, mejoberry seed, rockarot seeds. Oh, that's not half bad. Give melee damage this time around. The higher a dino's melee damage, the better it harvests. So if you have the Ankylo for harvesting, or say the Triceratops, Bronto, or anything you want to harvest with, give it melee damage. Like now I've just got a ton of seeds. That extra little melee damage did the trick. And I just got a pile of different seeds. I'll show you that in 1 second, and then I think we can call this a wrap. And I think now I've got almost every seed you can get this way from normal bushes. I might be a little wrong there, but I gotta be getting close. Now if you've been doing a lot of hand berry harvesting, you'll already see how much faster it is with a dino. And yeah, that should about cover me seed-wise. Basically, if you're in a lot of bushes, every few steps, click. And you'll get the best possible clearing. Although your dino will get tired quickly, so you'll want to make sure that you take a break every now and again to let the dino rest. And let's see how I'm doing. A little bit of wood, mountains of berries, some thatch, and I've got tinnoberry seed, narcoberry, amberberry seeds, mejoberry seeds, rockarot, stimberry, azaleberry. Yeah, if I went around and kept doing that for a few minutes, I would have one of all the basic and advanced seeds. I'm not in a good spot to get the mushrooms or the rare flowers or the plant species X seed, but if I was in the right spot it would help. So basically dinos are the Ark super harvesting machines. So in Ark, you know the expression, the right tool for the right job. Well, the best tool for the job is very often a dino. So know your dinos, know your kibble, and you will do a heck of a lot better. And I'm going to call that a wrap. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. Remember, there are links in the description to the information you'll need to know which kibble, berries, or meat to feed a dino. And I also tell you which dinos are better for which jobs, for speed harvesting and power harvesting resources, etc. So if you've liked this video, if you found it useful, please consider giving it a like or following. I update this channel when I publish a new guide or I update my videos. I will be starting a new YouTube channel soon that I will be doing daily and weekly videos. And also take a look in the description and you'll find a link to my comprehensive Ark guide, which covers crafting, harvesting, taming, you name it, you've got it. And I will hopefully see you again soon. Bye bye and have a great day.